Hey everyone, welcome to Clickheads. I'm Eddie the Chump, and today we've got a breakdown of the latest patch 1.06. This patch didn't include any major agent changes that we might have expected, but there are some interactions that do affect agents with mobility utility, especially in combination with shotguns, so let's just crack on with the notes. Let's begin with how Riot described this patch. We're back, and we hope you've clocked many hours into Act 2, are showing off your act rank, and clicking heads with Killjoy. Consider this the air shotgun patch. Some bug fixes below too. So let's move on to those agent changes. They are as follows. The audio and visual for blinding effects, Phoenix Curveball and Breach Flashpoint, should better indicate when to turn away and when it's safe to look again. So not exactly the changes I was personally looking for, but these notes are also a little bit misleading. If we take a look at the gameplay comparison video from the Korean Valorant YouTube channel, Phoenix's flash is actually very different. Its range and arc seem to have been changed and extended, which if true, is really impactful for that agent. If Phoenix has to be further away to get the arc of his flash to pop right in the opponent's face, then he has even less time to follow up than he did previously. As the duration of the flash is seemingly the same, this looks and feels like a bit of a nerf to him specifically, as far as him following up his own flash goes. From the example that they show in the video on the Sova, all that Sova player would have to do is step forwards as they saw the flash coming, and the flash would actually pop behind them, affecting them much less than the old version, which rounds the corner much tighter. This has two effects. Phoenix flashes, without any duration extension, are now a little harder to use for yourself, and secondly, it now makes more sense for another player to follow the flash out instead of the Phoenix to get the maximum blind time available. This is something I know from discussions with devs is not how they saw the agent, at least at one point. He's a duelist, not an initiator. Phoenix flashing for himself just got harder, but actually, a longer range flash makes it better for teammate setup. I genuinely don't know what to think. I'll be very interested to see what happens with him moving forward, as this change is legitimately a plus and a minus. I think Phoenix will be relied on more at the pro level. This longer flash throw definitely gets better the more organized you are, and I would make the argument it is better against ops, as you don't have to be so close to blind long lines of sight anymore. Let me know how you feel about this if you're a Phoenix main. As for Breach, we don't have any gameplay, but because of the way his flash works, I imagine his changes are much closer to what the actual patch notes say, as in, it's easier to see and hear when to turn away and when it's safe to look back. Not exactly the changes I was expecting, and I think if you make Phoenix's flash this different, you should also buff its duration. Maybe that's on the table for later, and Riot just wants some more data with this change first before committing to that. I've got my fingers firmly crossed. Let's move on. Weapon updates. All shotguns updated to be less accurate when fired in the air. The spread penalty when in air has increased from 0.5 to 1.25. Riot add, while shotguns are doing well in situations they are supposed to, there's been overly frustrating moments where people are accurate with these weapons while in the air. We hope to curb some of these encounters while still making them possible if you catch an opponent at a short distance. We'll also be investigating more potential changes to shotguns now that we're rested. Well, here is something we definitely knew was coming from everything that Morello had said previously, but will still be upsetting to players who like to abuse mid-air judge shenanigans. So Liam, unlucky mate. I said in my last video that the devs were aware that the judge was a bit of a problem, and I also said I wouldn't be surprised if they touched all the shotguns when it came to in-air accuracy. That's the direction they've gone in, and specifically, this affects agents like Jett perhaps more than others. Anyone can jump and shoot with a shotgun, but not every agent can super jump dash shotgun combo you in the face from angles you didn't even know existed. TenZ was really good at this, even at the pro level Wardell 2 with the shorty on pistol rounds. Suffice to say, those players are still going to exist, just have a much higher risk element added to them. If you're going to try and make this kind of play, you're going to whiff a lot more than previously, especially if you don't place yourself right on top of your opponents. I meme Liam, but I don't think there's a huge amount of players who will shed a tear about this nerf, Jett mains with no mic or not. Now, there are a few minor quality of life changes and bug fixes, but I want to draw attention to a couple specifically because they're actually important to know. Firstly, in this patch, they fixed a bug that allowed progress towards competitive matchmaking for new players by forfeiting unrated games. They say, forfeited games will not count towards the competitive requirement for the team who forfeited. So this will affect quite a lot of people. If you do play a lot of unrated, you'll know it's quite often a complete joke, because a lot of the players are only there to unlock ranked mode for, say, a second account that they want to take less seriously or use as a smurf. Previously, matches would just go to the minimum and end in a forfeit because players were just trying to race to the required unrated match completions to qualify for competitive. With this change, if you are the team that forfeit, the match doesn't count for you, so there's no more shortcut to getting an account ready for ranked. This will annoy one set of people who don't even want to play unrated in the first place and just want their second account ready, and on the other hand, improve the match quality for the players who are playing unrated matches legitimately. I know why Riot have done this. Smurfing is somewhat frowned upon, and to be fair, when I played unrated recently, it was a complete mess, with every match ending in a forfeit pretty much. The next bug fix to look at is this one. Fixed a bug where some players were missing rewards after reaching the end of agent contracts or Act Battle Pass. Playing a game should grant the missing rewards, including missing rewards from Act 1. So this was really annoying. Imagine paying for the Battle Pass, grinding it, and the game just being like, no, I'm not going to give you your stuff. Well, that could happen in rare circumstances, agent contracts as well, so I'm glad they finally addressed this. All you have to do to get the loot that you're owed is play one game, which we were going to do anyway. Better late than never. And that's about it for today's patch. As I said, a pretty minimal one, but with some key stuff. That Phoenix flash change is really interesting, and in my opinion, almost qualifies him for a sort of role swap. Maybe that's a little bit too far, but he definitely does give me initiator vibes now. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you like the content on this channel, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you get notified when we upload. Also, please check out our Facebook stream. We are No Lifing Valorant over there, and it would be great to see some of you in the chat. Until next time.